2, 1. Hey folks, welcome to Bouncing Brains. We are here on Monday, what is this, December 2nd, 2019. Well aware that this show will be coming out much later than that, but we're just letting you know in case the aliens invade between now and then, you know why we're not bringing the shit up. We are not under their control. I'm Sean Hatfield.
And I'm Freddy. Holy shit, I almost
You did forget this time.
And I'm Freddy G. I think so. For today, I'm Freddy G.
Got a little contact on the front porch. Yeah. And special guest today, one-man wrecking crew, John King Entertainment.
John King Entertainment in the building. What's up, guys? How's it going?
How you doing, man?
Doing good.
Hey, man, pull that mic a little bit closer to you,
I'll put
man.
it a little closer.
Don't be afraid.
I'm all nervous and shit. I ain't never been on the mic before. Not in a while.
Yeah, man, I just like I was telling you off camera, man, it's been a minute that I've been trying to, reach out and get a hold of you. I've been trying to get a hold of you because through different artists that you work with, I've spoke to Keynote and stuff like that. We've had them on a couple of times.
I was trying to remember the last guest that brought your name up. I believe it was Reenie, wasn't it?
Yeah, Reenie.
Big Reenie, yeah,
Big Reenie brought you up, and also Anti brought you up, and I was like, man. So I always, after I start fucking with artists and shit like that, I like to, reach out to the source, like who's who's the man putting behind this shit together and shit. So your name started coming up, John King. You need to talk to John King and shit like that. So I was like, all right, I need to know. I like to put a face to the name to make sure. And I've seen you all over the place on Facebook. You've been working, man. So I've been wanting to reach out and I wanted to see how things are going. Putting these shows together but before we do get into that, I wanted to ask you for the people that don't know, including myself, who the fuck are you and how'd you get started?
Why are you?
Why am I John King? Well, first, the name John King, I'll have to throw a shout out to my cousin Grinch Rodriguez from Houston, Texas. He always told me.
Is that where you're from?
No, I'm from East Chicago, Indiana, on the borderline of Indiana, Illinois, Chicago, Illinois. So props and shout out to the 219. Anyways, the John King name came from my cousin. He's a rapper also. He's a musician. So one day he was like, man, dude, you're like fucking promoting motherfucker. You're everywhere and shit. I see you here. I see you doing this. You're doing that. He's like, you're like fucking Don King and shit. Yeah. Like the boxing promoter. He's like, you motherfucker, you everywhere and shit. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, you should be calling yourself John King. So that's where I went with the name John King. It was more of a joke and, dude,
and you ran with it.
I just ran with it. Sounded good, John King and stuff, So.
It did not make the connection until you were just saying that right now.
Yeah, because I'm a very, me and my family were very big boxing fans, so we always watch.
Oh no, he's
boxing.
just into gambling. That's all.
Yeah, I'm a gambler too. Actually,
yeah,
I
man.
gamble a lot too and stuff.
It's kind of like with me because I had a couple of people ask me when I started doing this comedy thing. The whole Freddy G. Mine didn't have a lot of thought to it. I was just my name Freddy, but everybody kept telling me, I was like, dude, you can't be a comic and just be Freddy because it's simple. And I was like, bro, well, that's my name. Everybody wanted me to get like a name, you know what I'm saying? And I just felt kind of weird because I felt like if I had to get a stage name, then I got to build a persona. And I was like, bro, that's not me. And then, a friend asked me, he's like, well, what's your last name? And I was like, bro, I'm not about to use my government name either on stage, you know? So he was like, no, well, what's your first initial? And I was like, it's G. And they were like, hey man, well, you can just run with Freddy G and you already got the G with it. So, it kind of, and I was like, well, shit.
Sometimes that's how it happens. You know what I'm saying? I got several different names and shit. I also used to rap and do music and yeah, I've had a long history of just dealing with music. Like almost all my life, I can remember from a little kid, being a little kid, hearing my pops and them back in the days when they had actual albums and shit, and they put them on a motherfucking big system in the fucking room and shit. Jam some Pink Floyd, some Santana, some old school Boston, all that classic rock. And then I discovered hip hop back in the 80s also, like going to school at that time, being 7, 8, that was like the height of fucking break dancing and shit. Like fucking the movie Breaking came out, all that shit. So like as I look back throughout my life, like music has been a part of my life, like almost all my life, and since I was a little kid and shit. I've always been dealing with music, dance, DJing. I was always in the party atmosphere. Always, when I was in high school, I could be like 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm sneaking out the window. Hey, mom, I'm going to sleep and shit. I'm fucking opening the window. Homies picking me up and shit. We going to Chicago, house parties. I mean, like just straight up, just doing crazy shit, having a blast. You know what I'm saying? I used to be the guy carrying the records for the DJs and shit. Like, in the milk crates and shit. So I went through the 80s. I went through the 90s. Got into the music. During the 90s, we would always, my brother, name's David, goes by the name of Comic. Kind of like a Valley legend down here. He was a B-boy. He was he rapped, he played guitar, piano, bass, everything. We would freestyle at parties. Like when we came here in 1991, we came to the Valley from up north because my father, he got murdered up north. So we were like, it's crazy. A lot of gangs, a lot of things going on, people killing people and stuff. So my grandparents at the time, they were like, hey, y'all need to bring the kids down here to Texas. So that's how we discovered the Valley and came down and lived down here.
So you've been without your pops for...
Oh, yeah, since like 91, 92.
So how old were you?
I was, at the time, I would say 15, 16, somewhere around there. I mean, all the dates and all that is a blur. Sometimes it'll be like 91, 92. It's around there when everything happened. And that's when we moved down here to the Valley. And then when we came down here, we were totally different than everybody. We were long braids, cross colors, big baggy clothes. Me and my brother, everybody looked at us
Did you rock them Jinkos?
Oh, man, all that shit. Like, we came from the city, like, fucking with some new flavor. I mean, we were like, everybody was like, who the hell are these motherfuckers and shit? Like, we stood out. We were like different because down here was more in them days. It was a lot of Spanish in school. It was like the dressing was more on cowboy hats and Wranglers and boots and stuff. Like it was different. Like it wasn't all hip hop and sagging and shit. That started happening during the 90s when I noticed when we got to school down here. I went to Nicky Rowe and there was different kids from different cities, from New York, Chicago, LA. And that's was you could tell the difference right away. They were just like me, and I was like, "Damn, we're like the outcast here. Like we dress different, we're different." You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I kind of transcended to hanging around with them guys. That's who I started hanging around with. Guys from California, Bakersfield, fucking New York, Chicago, like different cities. They were all down here because the same thing happened. It was too much trouble where they were living before, so the parents would send them down, go stay with your grandparents out there in the Valley, and they'd get sent down here. So that's kind of where it all started there, coming from up north and living down here.
So when you got into putting shows together and stuff like that, that was down here in the Valley?
That was down here. You see, if I was probably up north, I'd probably be a truck driver or something, to be honest, because that's what my family, my father and all his brothers, his father, everybody in my family, they were truck drivers.
And so, did you always, because I know you started down here, but did you always feel or know, because you fuck with music like your whole life, but that's cool. But like, did you, when you started fucking with music, did your idea was I want to be a musician, or was it like I want to be on the promoting side of it, or what was your goal that you were trying to accomplish?
Well, the goal was one day my brother, he picked up a keyboard and he started playing it, started making some beats, because we used to freestyle and rap. Like we came from up north with that already. Like we're dancers, we're freestyling at fucking house parties, we're rapping, we're doing this. This is back during the 90s when Snoop Dogg was like the fucking shit. He was like the Chronic and shit. When 10th Street over here in McAllen used to actually, people used to cruise around and shit. That was a cruising spot. Like that's when I was down here. So when I discovered about the music is when I seen my brother start playing instruments, and he picked up an acoustic guitar and he started writing songs. And I was like, wait a minute. Like I seen something in my brother. I was like, this guy he's got the talent. Like Me, I had guitars, bass, all the equipment, but I don't have the talent to play that for some reason. My talent was always on the promoting side, on the business side. I'm gonna fucking get us to shows. I'm gonna do that. I seen the potential in my brother, and I fucking ran with it. And I was like, cause I seen the talent. I'm like, this guy got some talent. So I also wanted to be that other guy in the back also, though, making music and rapping and doing that too. I just didn't want to be the one doing the business side. I wanted to also be a performer. So yes, I mean, from when I seen my brother being able to play instruments and start producing music and all that, that's when we started. The wheels started in motion for like trying to do music.
Gotcha.
Went from just being an appreciator of the
Yeah,
art
I was well, like
participator.
up north, I was more like learning everything with like hanging with DJs and stuff, being the guy holding the crates and hey, what's he doing there and shit.
Just kinda soaking it
Oh
in.
yeah, just soaking it in. But I've always had and being more on the dancing and break dancing and all that stuff and house music.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, it was Chicago was a lot of house music, a
Yeah.
lot of that.
And it's funny, man, because like I think everybody, like every young kid that was growing up, because like I was telling you off camera, I started with music too, you know, when I was in high school. But honestly, I started because with me, like I started by writing poetry. I figured out at a very, very young age that I could rhyme, that I had this thing about with words and shit. So I started writing poetry, and then I moved over. You know, long story short, I moved over to the freestyles at the cafeteria table and everything. And then we came up in the whole battle rapping thing. So when I figured out that there was these little crowds and these little crews that would get together at the lunch table, and you know, oh, he got better bars than than you do, and he want to battle you and shit like that. And we would like set it up, man. Like it was a meeting, and you gonna battle this guy today, and then if you get through this guy, you gonna battle this one tomorrow. So it was like a thing that I caught on to, and it caught fire, and it was something that again, just like you, it was a love for music that I had, and I started doing it, man. I started doing it in high school and stuff like that. And I've told this story before on the podcast, and where I got with this other guy and we started recording mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? We started recording mixtapes, and we used to go to back when going to the movies, Hollywood on Olana was the shit. So what we would do is we would put our little demo in our own truck, and we would cruise around the movies with the booming system and everything. People would hear it, and then they would be like, "Hey man, like what's that?" So we'd be like, "Hey, it's our demo," and we started slanging those like $5 a pop. And you know, when you're 14, 15 years old with $100 in your pocket and I ain't do shit, you know what I mean? It was like, you know, I could do something.
You got a taste of the dream.
Yeah. And I was like, man, I
could. Like, you know, you're like,
I
oh
could really,
shit! Wait a minute, I could do what I really enjoy in life and make some money off of it. That's when you discover that. Yeah, definitely. But like I said, it all started when my brother started picking up instruments, and then we had other friends that played in bands. Kiddo, there's a guy named Kiddo. I don't know if you heard of him. He's had a couple of great bands down here. Bread 8. They've had Personal Use. I don't know if they used to play at Monster Car Wash all
Personal
the time.
Use sounds very familiar.
Yes. Well, this guy was the guy also that helped, like, kind of like got us into it. Oh, he knows how to record music. You know what I'm saying? We're calling Kiddo every day and shit. Like, hey, what do you call it? Let's record, man. Hey, you want to record again? You know, because he had equipment. His father did music. Yeah. But he played in a band and stuff, like a local rock band down here. They were really good. Had a lot of great following and everything back in them days. But that's what started us down here. Back in them days, there was no venues that were gonna let you rap. Yeah. See, we were rappers so that's where the idea with our friend Kiddo. He was doing instruments and doing that. And my brother kind of got into it and got better at it. And then we start saying, hey, let's get a band. And before you know, we got a band. And then now we're doing shows with Kiddo, and we're doing shows here and we're doing shows there.
Do you remember your first show, where it was?
You know what? I couldn't remember the first show because I ain't lying. I've done over like 500-600 shows. Easy, man. Like in my life.
Not a bad problem to have.
That's like, I've been doing shows since the 90s, basically.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're everywhere.
No, I'm saying because like I sit back and think about it, and I remember like when I was 15, 16 years old, when we really started hitting it hard, the first show I ever did, because like you said, nobody here, not unless you were a name, and it was back then when SPM was bumping and shit, and John Gotti.
Yeah, you weren't gonna be able to rap inside of a bar or club down here because it was more rock. It was more, hey, we want to hear a band play.
No, and they weren't letting you in. They weren't letting you in unless you were a name. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like definitely. It was SPM was popping in them, so you weren't gonna get that. But I remember the one of the very first people that gave us her first shot. It was actually in Mexico, man.
Okay.
In this club, it was called Club Frida. We actually got, and he was like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna give y'all 20 minutes. Whatever songs or snippets y'all can fit in 20 minutes, y'all can do it or whatever." And we wasn't even getting paid, man. We just wanted to get up there and like do our thing or whatever. And I remember we went up there. Well into the second song, man, like somebody in the back started shooting the bar. Yeah. And like the people fucking started breaking out and shit. And so our first show, it was just it was ruined by some motherfuckers that just.
But you always remember. I do remember the first, like we used to rap, like I said before, we would rap at parties and things like that. So those really, but when we started performing, I would say places like Trenton Point. Places like Tomatoes that was in Far Texas. It was a bar there. We started playing places like that here and there. Metropolis, Club X, fucking
did you ever
Graham Central Station.
Yeah, did you ever perform at Club Mint? You remember Club Mint?
Club Mint, yes. We used to do shows everywhere around town, like all the places down here. The thing is, I smoke a lot, so I probably forgot half the shit, like places we played, but I mean, it started back in the 90s, and we just did. What I always noticed is we're always looking for an opportunity. Hey, just let us play this and that. And then once I got in there and they seen us play, they say, oh, these guys are pretty good. And then I'd go talk to the managers and say, hey, how can I get my show here and stuff, you know? Yeah. That was my mentality. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how I think artists need to think. Like, you got to have that business mentality. Like, if you want to start getting paid and making all this money, you know, hey, you got to invest in yourself. You got to get out there and talk to people. You know what I'm saying? You can't perform and say, I'm gonna leave and shit, you know? Yeah. You got to be the last one there sticking around to talk. Who's running this show? You know what I'm saying? You got to be in the mix. Like, if you're not in the mix, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for you to, you know.
Early on when you came on, what was the biggest, aside from people not letting you perform, like with that out the equation, I guess what was the second hardest thing that you had to like accomplish and get through when you were trying to get on and trying to whether it be to put on a show or to perform? Like what was it that you were running into?
To me, it was once we got a band, it opened the doors for everything because now you couldn't say I don't like rap music. Well, we're rapping, but we're playing in a band also. And we got a little singing in there. There's a little, it's not just all rap. It's a mixture. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so that opened, once we had the band, and the band's name was Broken Poets. That was the name of my band and stuff. So once we had the band, that just opened doors. I was able to go to bars, hey, talk to them, like I said, and you know, hey, how could we get a show here? How could we do this? You know, in the end, you got to have, I mean, when you're trying to make it, you got to have the want, the drive, and you got to have some talent also, because I mean, if you got good music, it
doesn't hurt.
You know what I'm saying? You know, that helps you and stuff. I mean, if you ain't too good or anything, you know, and you're just starting and you're trying to get paid all this money and do this and do that, I mean, it's, you know, it's going to be hard. But I mean, if you got some kind of talent and you're pretty decent and you know, the doors will open for you if you knock on them. You know, you gotta get out there and make things happen. That's my attitude, the way I look at things. I'm trying. I was driven. Like, I was always trying to, hey, how can we do this? How can we do a show over here? Battle of the bands, let us get in that. Competition over here at the pizza parlor. Yeah, I want in on that. Yeah. Radio station, how do I talk to them? You know, that was newspapers, how do I get on one? You know, that's my thinking, how I was thinking when I was like trying to promote our band and trying to bring us up, you know, and
Yeah.
trying to get us out there. What I was doing was, when you open your newspaper, we were in there. When you turned on your radio, we were on there. When you looked on the TV, they were talking to us in an interview. And that's how I was trying to be everywhere and anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You go to the bathroom, you're seeing a picture of me on the wall and shit. That's my way that I was doing it. So I was like nonstop. You know what I'm saying? I'm up at 5 a.m. until this day. I'm still the same way. Like, shit, I'm promoting. Like,
I was just thinking,
you know,
about
and my name, that's the way as an artist you got to think, because if you put yourself everywhere and anywhere, like you say, my name came up a couple of times from different people that were on the show, and that's because I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just staying at my house. You know, I'm out there. I'm in the mix. I'm talking to people, and that's, you know, that's what it takes, I think, to get on your way. If you want to really get in this and do it the right way, you got to put that work in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't expect people to do it for you, because if you don't believe in yourself and what you do, then nobody else is going to believe in you. You know what I'm saying? I believe with my brother's music, I believed in it. And I believe, like, shit, we're good. We could do this. We could do shows. You know what I'm saying? And we did. And we easily came up slowly, kept on coming up, you know? And it can, and before you know it, people are giving you money, and hey, freaking, you don't even have to ask and shit. They're over there like, hey, play over here and shit.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
one door opens another door. And that's how it is in the music down here. And that's, if every artist, I think, has that drive and looks at it that way, and don't worry about, oh, I got to get paid or this and that. Do your work.
Yeah.
And everything's gonna come back to you.
Exactly,
And
man.
you're gonna be blessed, and you're gonna be what he calls.
That's what that's
Do
something.
your work.
That's something that I figured out early on, like in the comedy game, because like when I came in, you know, but when I came in with music, I remember when I came in with music, my biggest thing was like, as soon as I met somebody that I felt that, you know, meant somebody or that was somebody, I was like, it was so quick. I had barely asked him for the name, and I was like throwing my mixtape in their face. And I realized that wasn't the way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, the comedy game is pretty much the same way. I tell everybody now from previous experiences, if you all that energy that you're wasting to jump in somebody's face and try to,
or
you
saying,
know,
why ain't I doing this? Or why ain't they here?
why am I not on that
You
show or
know?
whatever? I tell them, if you put that much energy into your craft, in perfecting your craft and what you do,
Let everything work itself out.
The money and everything else will come. But I mean, if you're chasing the money, you're gonna die chasing it, because it's just
the
it's
best
not
thing
gonna
I
come.
can say about being in entertainment is go get a 9-to-5 job, work, have a job. I have a job in the morning. I'm a bartender. You know what I'm saying? I do a regular job. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but I do that, and then I do my stuff at night, my music, my shows, and all that. But I'm saying you can't depend on the music to say, oh shit, you're gonna fucking blow up. You're gonna be rich and shit. Like, fucking ain't never gonna have. You know, that takes a lot of time and a lot of hard work to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? You got to be around people that are going to have that money to invest in you, or you got to invest in yourself and stuff. You got to have some money. You got to put in to get out is when it all comes down to. You know what I'm saying? You really got to put into it. Like, to want to make it, you got to put in out of your pocket to make it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the way it is. I mean, shit, you can't expect I'm going to walk down the street and somebody's going to come and say, hey, man, you want to sign a contract? Let me give you a fucking $1 million deal and you're going to be on tour. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You got to get out there and you got to knock on doors and you got to talk to people and you got to interact with people and,
hey man,
and get out there and do it.
If you hire an electrician, you don't fucking, like, he doesn't show up and go, okay, where's my tools? Like, he comes with a fucking bag.
Exactly. You got to put in to get out. You got to invest in your shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you want to sound good? You get a good mic. You want to fucking have a badass fucking, your guitar sound killer? Well, get you a badass amp and shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit counts. Well, I remember when we started, we had equipment that was like, I had bought it and shit from another homeboy. And it was with the big amps and this and this and that. And it was a heavy gear and stuff. And then once we got management and we got people like helping us out and paying us a paycheck and shit and buying us equipment, you notice the quality went up so much from playing on this equipment and playing on this equipment, that Marshall amps and Gibson Les Pauls and shit, compared to your Squire and your fucking the little amps that we used to have and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. Now when that happened, it was just like, wow, it enhanced us. We're even better than we were before. When we were sounding pretty good when we was playing on this equipment, but when we started using this, we sound a lot better, dude. You know, it opened our eyes. Like, it was more on a professional level. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
and if anybody's in the crowd and they're thinking like, maybe I want to give these people some money, you know, it's like, shit, they sound awesome.
The thing is, and like I said, when it all comes down, you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in what you're doing as an artist. You got to get out there and don't let anybody sidetrack you or detour you or say that you're not good enough for this and that. If you believe in your stuff, hey, more power to you, man. That's what I'm about.
Like, if you're going to ask anybody's opinion about some shit you're going to do, you should do that before you do it.
Yeah.
Like, once you're doing it, you better fucking just
You know what?
forget
But
that
I mean,
shit.
every artist starts out not being that great. It's when you start out. I used to be on stage sitting down and shit. My brother would be like, "What the hell are you doing sitting down?" I was scared of the crowd and shit. I'd be like, our first show, I'd be like, damn, like I wasn't confident. You know what I'm saying? But doing show after show after show after show after show, by the time you're past 40, 50 shows, shit, you know what to do when you forget a lyric. You know what to do when the mic shuts off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't lose cool. You learn how to, get through things. You know what I'm saying? And then that works you up by doing all these little shows over here and over there. That's experience as an artist. You know what I'm saying? By the time you get to the big stage, you're ready for it. You're ready for whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to fucking crumble down. I've seen people get on the big stage and see the lights. They're like, oh, shit. Let me melt the fuck down and shit. Like, they can't handle it. They don't know what to do if something goes wrong. They don't know, what do I do? What are my options? When you're an artist that's always out there doing something, that shit's like, it's natural to you. You're not going to, if something goes wrong, you're not going to trip out and
it's something again, whether it be music or comedy, like, people don't understand that just because you can write a lyric or you can write a song, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a great performer. Being a great performer within itself, it's like, I feel like it's its own art. You know what I mean? So I tell people, like we hear this all the time. I hear it all the time where, like, I'll be at work, like my regular 9 to 5, or I'll be somewhere else, and like people will tell me, "Hey man, well you're a comedian, right? Like, tell me a joke." And it's not like you have to understand that there is a performance that comes behind it. Like, I guarantee you, if I show you the premises and the jokes, just like if you were to show me a song or whatever on paper, it's not gonna sound. You're not gonna read it, and in your head, it's not gonna sound as the fire it is when you're recording and you put it out and you hear it live, because people need to understand, like, there's a performance that comes behind it. Now, also, as a performer, like, again, whether you're a rapper or a comedian, there's people that, like, will go, like you were saying earlier, you'll go to an open mic and you'll throw your jokes out there and you think that they're landing, but as soon as you're on that big stage and you see a crowd full of people and you see them big lights and I've seen people just they forget everything. Like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
What the fuck? You know, and then once it ain't working, it just starts to not work even more and stuff. The thing is, as an artist or whatever you do in life, you got to critique yourself. You got to be your biggest critic, and you always got to be fucking like, hey, I shouldn't have said that. There was a lot of things I said when being drunk, drinking on stage. Well, if I can say some stupid shit like, oh, shit. The next day, I'm like, why did I do that? You know, it's like you learn. You learn from it. It's learning mistakes. If you don't fix it, then that's where the problems happen and shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. If you're able to see, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that or done this, or, you know, when you're able to do that, you're gonna, sorry about that.
Don't worry about
it. Your performance is gonna get better. You know, you're gonna take the stuff that works and leave that. You're going to take the stuff that didn't work, take that shit out, never do it again, you know, with any performance. So that's really how it is in a band or as a comedian. You kind of, everything's training. you're only gonna, if you say, are you a better comedian 6 years ago or now? Of course you're gonna say now because you've been doing it for 6 years. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. You don't regress. You're gonna see progress.
Like
you know
you
what
said,
I'm saying?
man,
It's
that
gonna.
you do enough shows. You know, the first time the mic cuts out on you,
Yeah.
you're probably gonna have a bit of a
Exactly.
shit.
Like, what the hell? You know, you just freeze up and stuff. And it's happened. But, you know, those are learning mistakes. A lot of artists I see, they want to get to the big stage before they do the little stages.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And that's what I try to tell them by doing the shows that I do. When I get artists and showcase them, I'm setting them up for them big shows in the future. You know what I'm saying? When they start knocking on them doors of the big shows and they start getting on them venues, they're going to be used to it. They're not going to have no fear to being on the stage or anything because they've been doing it already. They've been performing in front of it's 1 or 100 people. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. It could be 10 people in the crowd. It could be 50, 80. There's, you know, it changes, but it's, what do you call it? It's somebody that is watching your performance. So you're performing for that one person or 2 people or 3 or whoever it is. So basically you're going to get better. So once you get to the big stage, you'll be ready for it.
Like you don't necessarily need that, 10,000 hours for mastery, but 100 will do you good.
Yeah. Definitely doing it and performing a lot is only going to get you, I think, a little sharpen the skills. It's going to sharpen the skills.
Oh, you can always get better, but like if you at least, like you said, you're paying attention to yourself. Like I said earlier, you know what I mean? Once you decide to do something, you can't necessarily be paying attention to all the voices on the side.
Exactly.
But you have to know when, if somebody comes at you with, hey man, let me just throw this at you. You do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
Not like, hey, you fucking suck.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
More like, hey bro, if you did this, man, I think that might tighten it up.
You got to take all that. You know what I'm saying? Like me, when we used to do shows, I used to go talk to the people in the crowd. Hey, how'd you enjoy the show? What could we do better than that? See their reaction and stuff. Oh yeah, hey, yeah. You know, a lot of times people, hey man, you guys sound pretty cool and shit. Like fucking, you know, where can we hear some more music?
I don't think that it's a coincidence, man, that some of the sharpest stage comics that I know, like performance wise, are also the folks that are really good about getting in there with the crowd. I mean, like after the show, they'll sit around and they're talking.
They're the ones that you see because you got to put in that work.
I don't know if one feeds the other or which way that goes, man, but it may be a little bit of both.
Well, that interaction, I believe, with the fan base, that's how you build that fan base up, you know? Like, that's why I see a lot of times with artists, I try to explain to them, like, doing a show and you do your performance and you walk out and leave, to me, that is disrespectful to the other artists in the fucking show. That's just like, I did my shit, I'm out of here. Like, you got to support each other because in this time right here in the Valley, sometimes the other band is all we have and shit at some of these shows. You know what I'm saying? If they're not there, who the hell's going to be seeing you and shit? You know, you got to stick around. I've had shows where everybody got there early, stood there for the whole entirety of the show, and it was some of the best shows I've ever fucking had. Everybody was fucking, crowd was hyped. Fucking, you got crowd reaction. It was just great. And that happened because everybody supported each other. And when you don't support each other and you do that, it's just like, to me, when I was coming up, it was like kind of a sign of disrespect. Like, I've sat through your whole set. Now I'm on stage. You guys leave outside to smoke a cigarette. You know, it's like, that's just like, as an artist, it's just like, wow. Like, I just sang every one of your songs and shit. Now I'm on stage and you guys are outside smoking and shit. You know, to me, that's just like, you know, we need each other is what I'm trying to say.
I understand you 100%, but there is a thing with the comics, man. It's just a bit of an antisocial. You're in your head. If you've gone on stage, like the next 5 minutes is just you in your head going, why the fuck did I say that shit?
Yeah, exactly. See, and I actually agree with what you're saying as well, 100%. But I've actually caught the double-edged sword of that same statement. Yeah. Meaning, like, for example, like with me, and you get it. I mean, you're a dad too.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
I'm kind of like a new dad too, and like a lot of our shows or a lot of the shows that we've done together, they're like during the week, and then I every day, kind of like you, I wake up at 5.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
And so my day starts at 5, and I'm not shutting down till about 11 or so.
Yeah.
So like when I do a show, and even more so in between that time. Not every day, because I'd be lying to you if it's every day, but like on now I'm getting my kid like at least one day out of the week where I can go and see her or whatever. So like on those days, it's like, and if I have a show, I can't like stay because I gotta go and
no,
do the
I
daddy thing
I
and shit
totally
like
understand.
that, so.
There's a lot of artists I work with, and a lot of times they're like, "Hey, we live in Brownsville." I understand that, but I really try to. I'm not gonna tell anybody, "Hey, you gotta fucking stay to the end," but I would.
You know the difference between someone's got shit to do and the guy that's ducking out.
When there's people that do a performance and then go next door and drink at the next bar, it's like, I don't understand that one. I can understand you got the kids and you got to wake up 8 a.m. Yeah, I understand that. But there's a lot of times you see that thing, hey, man, I got to go because we're downtown. I'm going to go to the other bar and get a shot over here. Like, the party's here, bro. This is where the show that we have here. Like, why? To me, I never went to a performance and said, oh, shit, well, fucking, I did my performance. Now I'm going to go party next door and shit. Like, to me, I've never did that. I would always stick around. I would always show that support. Hey, yo, shit fucking dope. This and that, fucking talk to the artists and shit. And I understand sometimes people work. Sometimes people got to drive far distances to get back home. So I understand that definitely, you can't keep every artist. But I always try to stress like, hey, if we all could stick around a little bit longer to support each other, the show always turns out better that way.
Yeah.
And, sometimes the artists don't get to see that because they're gone. You know what I'm saying? They don't see the effect by taking the 10 people they came with and leaving the show, how it has an effect on the rest of the show. You know what I'm saying? Like it was badass. It was building up and then, oh shit, I'm taking everybody away and we're going to go, party next door and
that's
shit.
That's always
so
a horrible thing, man. When in the middle of the show, the vibe just changes.
Yeah, it's just like you're building it. I've seen shows build up to where it's like everybody stay and you have full houses, people are happy. Hey man, they don't, it's great, and then you have shows that go the other way also where, it just gets busy and then like dwindles a little bit and then people come back and then it comes, you know what I'm saying? I've had both, you know what I'm saying? But that's part of the business, you're dealing with a lot of artists, you're dealing with the artist fans, if an artist is going to leave, the fans are going to leave too and shit. Like if I came, a lot of times if I came to see you or something like that and then you left, well, I'd probably be, well, shit, I'm going to leave too and shit.
Often you hear that whole thing about like, look, there's only 2 people in the crowd. We're going to perform to them. What they don't mention is sometimes it goes from the packed house to 2 people in the crowd. So you better be able to.
Yeah, adjust, definitely. Yeah. It happens, man. It's just it's just how it is, But, I try to always keep that positive attitude and, hey, like unity. Let's stick together. Let's work together. Let's bring everybody up. That's my message.
And that's good, man, because we, especially here in the Valley, like I do see a lot of the times, I mean, we see people like you where it's like, I'm the same way, dude. Like I'm the way, like, let's help each other out. Let's come together. Let's figure it out. Like I tell everybody all the time, like to me, the comedy game has gotten so big to where I don't see it as a competition. I feel that there's enough bread on the table for everybody to eat. Now the reason as into why I related to comedy is because I feel that comedy at this point has become just like a different spice. There's different spices for different food. There's different spices, somebody's comedy may not be appealing to somebody else and you may not like it, but somebody else will, So I feel that just because I'm doing it and it's working for me, that's why I don't mind sharing, hey, you know what? I'm doing it like this and like this and like this. Try it out in my work. There's other people that don't feel that way. There's like, oh, I'm going to hold on to these secrets because if people find out.
Yeah, sharing the knowledge and sharing that like wisdom to another artist, I mean, that's the way I look at it too. Like, hey, I'm not going to, oh shit. Like I asked you earlier, hey, what's that, this and that? And you right away, well, yeah, well, it's this and this and that. I didn't know about that, but now I know more about it because you passed on that wisdom to me just moments ago. But that's how you got to be. That's how I am. You know what I'm saying? If I could help an artist or tell them, hey, you should do this or do that, I mean, I always give them that advice, Yeah.
Well, dude, it's like we live in modern society where it's like, hey, man, we might be going to Mars soon. We didn't get there by one motherfucker coming up with all that shit. It was a bunch of dudes handing off fucking, I got this knowledge. We'll put this together.
Oh, don't get me wrong. A lot of people look at their knowledge and they'll be like, I don't want to let you know shit. Trust me. There's also them also out there, believe me. Cause
probably some
I
mad
ran
scientist
into
in a basement that's
they
invented
got
anti-gravity.
some stuff
but
that they
them.
don't, but it's just like, they don't want to pass on no knowledge. Hey, what's that mean? Or what's this do? Me, when I would go in the studio, I was always asking, hey, what's that? What are you doing there? I want to learn about that shit,
Freddie used a perfect example. There's enough food on the plate. Yeah. When you think of it as one plate that we're all eating off of, is not the case, man. There are a bunch of businesses booming right now.
Yeah, right now, you got Raymond Orta. He's doing real good. You got, what's the other guy? Mario. Yeah. Salazar, he's doing real good.
And they're not eating off the same plates, man. Their plates are completely fucking different.
Are you working with any of them?
Yeah, we work closely. I work closer with. I work with both of them, but I work closer with like Mario and shit.
Okay.
My work with Raymond. Raymond's a real cool dude. He's put me on a couple of shows, and that's what I was gonna say. It's like. That's why I always see it as leaving yourself open to, like you're saying, giving somebody a helping hand, because you never know when you may need that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there might be some shit that you're not gonna know. It's like, hey man, I want to get there, but I don't know how. And you may not see the connection. I was like, I got to do this and this so I can get there. Somebody may need to come along and be like, hey man, if you do it like this is how you're gonna get there. And I was like, oh shit, I get it. But if you're not open to that, or if you don't open yourself in helping other people, then, you know what I'm saying? Like,
see, like, what do you call it? I would start going to concerts and stuff, and I always be like, how the fuck do you get to the back on that side of the fence and shit? That's what I was always wondering when I'd go to concerts, because, I've been going to concerts since, like, I'd say my first concert was Ozzy Osbourne and Anthrax, 1989, and at the Houston, Texas, at the Summit. Wow. Old place. I think Joel Osteen that's his, that's his church now. Well, they used to have concerts there, but that kind of opened my eyes to the whole concerts and all that. Once I seen Ozzy Osbourne, that shit, I was like, I just continued to go to concerts. I consider myself half rocker and half hip hop, right down the middle, because I love rock music and I love hip hop. I love both. Yeah. So I've always been split right down the middle on that. I have the love for Metallica, Kiss, Ozzy.
So AC/DC. Run
DMC is what, like, when I was a kid, I remember like writing down all the lyrics and shit. We had tapes back in them days. You'd be hearing it, rewind it, write all the lyrics down, and then you'd rap along to it and shit. Like, that's what I used to do back in the days and shit. Run DMC, Beastie Boys, fucking Curtis Blow, fucking Kumo D, fucking all the way up to NWA, all the 80s shit, all that shit back in the days. That's what I grew up on, like all the breakdancing music, the fucking hip hop when the Rapper's Delight.
Did you ever get into LL?
LL Cool J. I can't live without my radio. I'm bad. I had all that shit. Like, fucking, that's what I was listening to. The Fat Boys, fucking LL Cool J, EPMD, fucking, all that classic hip hop. That's what I had. Cassettes back in them days and shit.
It's like that's what I grew up on. This how bad of a hip hop hit I am. I remember I was watching, and this was after like the 15th time, because we've all seen it a million times, but this was after like the 15th time of like and I had noticed it before, I had just never said it out loud. We were watching Boys in the Hood.
Oh yeah, Boys in the Hood.
And we were watching Boys in the Hood with some of my friends, and we were about the same age. And I think it's when they're walking down the alley. And they're walking down the alley and shit, and I think they're about to come up on the dead body, right? So they were like, "Oh man, like y'all remember that part?" And then it was like, "Yeah, man." I told them, I was like, "You know who that is in the background?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Dude, that's CPMD." People forget that the track playing in the back that's CPMD in
I'm pretty sure it was. I don't recall exactly the music right now, but I mean,
you would need to go back and watch it.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I grew up on. Slick Rick, fucking Dougie Fresh. I mean, I'm talking about back in 82, 3, 84, 85. I mean, all throughout the golden age of hip hop and shit. Like, that's when I was coming up as a little kid and shit. You know, back when you had your BMX bike and shit with the fucking, with the, you know, that's how we were in the 80s and shit. And, that's what I came up on, the hip hop. I was more hip hop until 1989 when I went to that Ozzy Osbourne concert. I went to Houston to visit my cousin Roy. And he was like, I got a extra Ozzy Osbourne ticket. You want to go? And I was like fucking 13 years old. I was like, fuck yeah, I'll go. And I remember my dad dropping us off over there at the Summit. Went in there. The lights go out. All you smell is weed and shit. So we're like, after that, I was just like, oh shit, this is fucking awesome. Like fucking that shit just opened my eyes to like the rock side. And then I started getting in. I remember I had a cousin, Omar. He gave me a Diary of a Madman and the Blizzard of Oz from Ozzy Osbourne. And that shit changed my life too also, man. I just had that shit on play all the time, man, playing some Ozzy and shit. And that just got me into going to shows and concerts, Kiss, Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots, I mean, Beach Boys, I've Snoop Dogg. There's just so many shows I've been to. And it all started because of that Ozzy Osbourne concert. And my cousin handed me that golden ticket, as they say, and gave me that ticket and shit changed my life, you know. So basically that's what got me into the rock music right there. But before that, it was more hip hop and Run DMC and Beastie Boys. You see, that's when I made a transition. I came down here to visit my cousins in Houston, and we were kind of living down here a little bit in McAllen. But I was coming from up north. Up north, it was all hip hop and all that, like East Coast back in that days. And in Houston, Texas, it was rock and shit. It was like my cousins were all fucking go to his room. He had fucking Iron Maiden posters, fucking all the fucking old rock posters on the wall. And then once I seen that, I was like, oh shit, my room was like that shortly after and shit. Fucking posters of Kiss and Motley Crue and all these guys and shit. So.
Do you remember? Because you said that you also you wrote lyrics. You started writing, and so do you remember like not the exact lyrics, but do you remember when you started writing lyrics and actually try to rap? And
I would say
something?
The thing I noticed early on was like we would do a lot of freestyles and shit, and I noticed like writing freestyles, basically you forget all that good shit you just said and shit. You don't remember it and shit. So that's basically when I started saying you really got to write something down and keep it there. And that's really what's going to get you something in the end. You got to have something written down on a piece of paper and shit. It was like, you know, freestyling and this and that. And you look back 5 minutes later, like, what did I say? Like, you know, you don't even remember. So that's when we got started into writing. When my brother picked up the instruments, playing the acoustic guitar, we started rapping to that, little instrumentals, and working with Kiddo, and it just evolved into getting our own band and just getting out there. I mean, then there was a time we signed also with A.B. Quintanilla, Selena's brother. He had a studio over here in the north side of McAllen called KOB.
Yeah.
And see, that's
never been there, but I remember
that's just
that.
Another story. I gotta say, like, I was already like, hey, dude, A.B. Quintanilla's in town and shit. To my brother, like, let's go over there and knock on the doors and shit. Let's find out what's up, you know? So we went over there. My brother went over there, like, dropping demos off. Hey, what's up? Let us. So he actually, for a moment, signed us and was working with my brother, and he had music getting recorded and stuff. There's a few tracks that I have where they recorded some tracks with A.B. Quintanilla, and we were working with Chris Perez, Selena's ex-husband or husband. Yeah. Real cool guy. And
I've heard, man. I've heard a lot of good stories. I've never met the dude, but
yeah, but like that was just like an honor to be able to work with them guys and stuff like. See, but back in them days, you make mistakes and you're like, oh shit, you're like, let's party. That was my attitude, like having the drinks and this and that. Maybe it should have been more on the working and hey, we got here. It was more like a celebration, like for me, you know what I'm saying? So my brother, he worked with them. He moved to San Antonio for a while. But then I guess AB had some things going on and everything kind of dissolved after a while.
Yeah.
But it was a great experience. They were great. They were cool people. You know what I'm saying? It's awesome hearing stories about Selena and shit. I'm sitting there with the family and everybody. They're talking about her and shit, like, you know, telling stories. So it was like, wow, this is awesome, you know?
Fucking
Like,
Emma.
you don't get to do this too many times in your life. Fucking
No,
chill out with
definitely
Selena's
not.
family and shit. Like, that was an honor for me. I mean,
We were talking about
'cause I
that
was big
before the
fans,
show,
yeah.
man. Like, memories are what you got. You better make some good ones, man. Appreciate what you got.
I always, for some reason, I always had good luck with like meeting people like that and shit. We went to Coolio concert at the island one day. Coolio was there for spring break when he had Gangster's Paradise.
Yeah.
So my cousin's in town and shit. My cousin Grinch Rodriguez, he's in town. And we're over there and we're fucking like 18, 19 years old probably. Not even old enough to drink yet. But we're broke. We're fucking teenagers. We're out there just trying to fucking see how can we get it. I mean, it's like the doors just open for us and shit. Fucking the doors open and the crowd parted. Before you know it, my cousin's rapping on stage with Coolio and shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, how'd this happen and shit? Like, just from 1 minute to the next, dude. We're broke outside.
Yeah.
Hey, for tickets arrive, they just come out of nowhere. Fucking my cousin, like the guy Coolio goes, any rappers in the house? We're like, we're 20 deep and shit. Hey, right over here. They fucking pull my cousin on stage. He raps right there. Coolio's like, damn, you got some skills and shit. Like, fucking gives him props. And it was just like things like that happen and shit. Another time I had friends back to Kiddo. He got the opportunity to open up for Motley Crue at spring break in 97, I believe. So we had some music with him. He told, hey, you guys want to come and fucking perform with us and do some songs opening up for Motley Crue. So we're there. We're fucking backstage. Here's fucking Vince Neil's there with the two girls from the Girls and shit, his dancers. Hey, yo, Vince, can I get a fucking autograph, a picture? Maybe later, man. Like, fucking, I'm like, this dude just fucking, like, crushed my dreams and shit, dog. That motherfucking big ass fan of fucking Motley Crue. You see fucking Mick Mars fucking all hunched over and shit. Fucking I was like, I'm not gonna ask you for an autograph because you look like you could barely walk and shit at the time. So we do our show with my friend's band Cactus, Kiddo Rendon. We do the show and stuff, and then we're standing on the side like that, and there's some guy, and I'm like, damn, man, fucking, who's this fucking tall dude, man? Fucking with dreadlocks and shit. I'm like, turn around, it's fucking, they're like, that's Tommy Lee, dude. Fucking Tommy Lee, the drummer from Motley Crue. So we're like, oh shit. He was there. He had seen the performance of my brother. My brother was like popping and shit, like pop locking, breakdancing and shit on stage. So he seen that shit and he was like, yo, son, this is how he talk. Yo, son, you were fucking dope, dog. Like, that's when he was making his rap album. You remember he had a rap album,
Yeah.
Tommy Lee, he had after he broke up from Motley Crue. He's like, yo, son, you're fucking dope. That's exactly how he talked. Tall guy, I thought he was homeless and shit. I'm like, this guy looked like he was like broke, like a roadie and shit, dude. And I was like, holy shit, that's Tommy Lee. But you know what? Out of all of Motley Crue, Tommy Lee was the coolest motherfucker in the building, man. That guy showed love. What's up, pictures? Fucking, hey, like, he was a cool motherfucker, man. Yeah. Tommy Lee, Motley Crue.
I was gonna say, man, but see, I mean, those are beautiful stories, but it doesn't always work out that way. I remember back in 2007, I lived in LA from 2007 to 2009. I remember, I don't know if you've ever been out to like LA and shit.
Nah, I haven't been out to LA. A dream of mine.
There's a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, right?
Oh, okay. So
we went to Roscoe's. Me and one of my friends.
Yeah,
definitely, man.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, go
Drink
for
some
it.
tomato juice.
So we go to the Roscoe's or whatever, and we get there. We order. We sit down, and then this dude walks in some khakis and just a muscle shirt. They sit down at the far end corner, and we're talking, and I'm sitting here, my friend's sitting here, and I see him out of the corner of my eye and shit. And then I was like, "Hey, bro, look over there, but don't turn around, don't make it obvious." He was like, "What?" And I was like, "That dude right there, bro. That's the game." And he was like, "Who?" And this one was Game.
Yeah.
He was barely coming up. I was like, "That's Game." And he was like, "Who the fuck is Game?" And I was like, "Dude, he just signed with Shady." And he's like, "Man, that ain't Game." And then when we saw he was with some other guy, and they pulled out the camera, like right then and there, like inside the restaurant, pulled out the camera. They had already served him his food. and he was eating like a chicken wing or something, and he had the camera out, and he was talking into the camera like he was recording something for some kind of footage or whatever. And then he was like, "Man, are you sure it's him?" I was like, "Bro, it's him." And like I remember the restrooms were like on this side, and I remember going to the restroom and shit, and it was back then when he had that gay ass butterfly tattoo on his he has an LA star over it now.
Oh, did he cover it up?
Yeah, he covered it up, but he used to have a butterfly on his cheek. And I was like, man, that is fucking game or whatever. So then my friend, he was like, hey man, like, cause we were a lot younger, man. I was like 19, 20 years old, and he was like, man, we should go over there and just say what's up, maybe get a picture or something. And I was like, nah, man, bro, we in South Central LA right now. I don't think that's a good idea. We're not from here. He was like, man, let's just go or whatever. So we're actually gonna do it. But he was recording with the camera, and you could tell that whatever he was saying, whatever he was doing, he was real into it. And when he was doing this shit, and like I said, he was wearing khakis or whatever, and I just see the big ass Glock on his side, like he and I was like, nah, we can hold off on that because he probably gonna think that we gonna run up on him or something. And I was like, the last thing I need is to end up on 6 o'clock news.
See, old DMX did a show down here at Far Events. And,
I was there.
Yeah, and he went into the crowd, and the crowd took his ring.
Yeah.
He was like, y'all gonna do me like that?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Shit.
I was
mad.
Welcome to the Valley.
Yeah, he didn't want to talk to nobody and shit. I was like, hey, DMX, he's fucking little guy and shit. Fucking like, mad as fuck.
I was literally 4 people down from the chick that took it. And then he's like, hey man, like who the fuck took my ring? He got real pissed off. He was like, who the fuck took my ring? And whatever.
He was on...
And then everybody in the front row turned around and looked at the chick. And she was like this, right? She had her arms crossed. So he jumped off stage. He went to the front row, and he was like, hey boo, you took my ring? And she was like, she was like this, and she kept shaking her. And then the guys in the back kept yelling, and she was like, yeah, that hoe took it. It's the hoe that took it or whatever. He's like, did you take my ring? And she was like, nah, whatever. So he literally goes back up on stage. He was like, all right, I'm going to show y'all that one bitch fucked up the whole show for everybody. If I don't get my ring back, this shit's not going, it's not coming on. And he like sat down on the speaker and shit. And he was like,
I don't think he got his ring back though.
Yeah, no, but that's what I was going to say. Like, he didn't get the ring back, but then I remember him getting up, and he was well into his second bottle of Hennessy. And like, he got back up on stage. He was like, all right, man, fuck that. I'm gonna keep this shit rolling for everybody else, because everybody paid their money. And he turned around and he looked at the girl that they were pointing at, and he was like, so fuck that bitch, and I'm gonna continue doing the show. And he kept going or whatever. And he closed out the show with a prayer. I still remember that.
Did you go to the Bone Stugs or the Too Shorts?
I went to the Too Short one.
You see, what happened is when we had our band, and I start to get to know talking to the promoters of that.
Keynote was one of the openers for DMX. That one show.
I didn't know.
He was actually the first one that went up. They had like 6 of them, bro. They had like literally 6 artists.
Yeah, we were openers too. Me and my boy Val Kill.
Okay.
The guy that was in the band with me, the band that we had started. Yeah. Once the band disbanded, then my good friend Val Kill, me and him started doing shows. Yeah. So we did that show as an opener with my cousin Grinch from Houston. That show also. What I did was the band kind of opened up the doors to do them shows and stuff. We started doing the Bone Thugs and Harmony openings and all the DMX, the Juicy J, Nelly came. There was a lot of artists coming for a while down here at the Far Event Center. It was awesome. I mean, I'm actually waiting for more artists like that to come back down and shit.
Yeah.
As much as I hate the traffic, that is the one upside of them building the multiple stadiums, like that one they just finished out in Edinburgh. Is like, yeah, man, there are places. It's no longer the thing
is with that place right there, you need to bring like 9,000-10,000 people with you and shit to fill that mug up.
Yeah. I'm gonna need you, all your friends, everybody. Bring your family too.
What's happening right now in the concert?
I'll tell you what, man. Hold on a second. We're coming up on the first hour right now.
Okay.
I didn't want to cut you off, and then it was like, man, I know he's got stories, man.
Shit, I got a lot of stories, man.
All right, but yeah, we're up on the first hour right now. Jesus, Freddy jumped off that mic quick as fuck. We'll be right back. 3, 2, 1, and we're back.
We are back for the second hour
So you were telling us, man. We did kind of get off on the stories there. I regret nothing.
Yeah, once I get going, man, it's hard to stop me. But I got a lot of stories and a lot of things to say. Basically, earlier you asked me about how did I start promoting and doing these events around town and stuff. Well, that actually came about because when we had our band and we were doing good and everything was going great, we were getting paid, everything was fine, and we met up with a promoter down here. His name's Nano Ramirez. He used to own the Virial, or what was that?
Oh, yeah,
what was it called?
yeah.
My Spanish is bad. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You say it the right way. He used to own that place, and basically a legend. He's like one of the promoters that was here since the fucking 70s and shit, bringing concerts. I mean, he's brought AC/DC, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Megadeth, all kind of people he's brought down to the valley. So basically, I kind of, from having our band, we got to the point where we one day he made a contest on the radio, and they said, who wants to open up for Trapped? Whoever gets the most calls to the radio station gets to open up for that band Trapped. I don't know if you ever heard of them. They have a couple of hits if you look at him. He had brought that concert down to Graham Central Station. I don't know if y'all remember that
I
place.
remember that. Fuck yeah.
He did a show there. So
Cocaine in the restroom.
yeah, that was 5 clubs
Which
in
one?
one. That was a great place. I don't know why it ended, but anyways, that's how I met Nano, from that, because we actually won the contest to open up for that band. So we opened up from there for the band. We did that show, and then after that, I kind of start talking to Nano. Hey, let us open up for some other shows and shit. And that's how we started. He brought Bone Stugs and Harmony and the Too Short and Cypress Hill, and he started letting us get the opportunity to open up them shows. So DMX, all these shows, he was giving me the opportunity. You know, a lot of artists, nowadays they get to the promoters and they pay out cash, you know what I'm saying, to play. You got to pay to play. Me, I came to the table with, you know what? I could not pay to play, but I could sell a shitload of tickets, and I could bring money to the table, and I could, So I start fucking hustling tickets. Hey, you tell me your price, this is my price, and you know what I'm saying? You know, make a couple of dollars, you get the show, you're opening up, and that's how I started working with the promoter, with Nano. I started, selling tickets and showing them, hey, I can't pay $500-600 to open up and perform, but what I can do is I could get out there and sell tickets and bring some money in, you know what I'm saying? Bring some people into the venue.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, and once I did that, and I start collecting a good amount of money and selling tickets and giving them some money, he was like, yo, the door's opened, you know what I'm saying? Like, now, yeah, you could open up for the next show. Why not? You're bringing something to the table and shit. So that's how it opened the doors for me. So from there, I've been able to do like a lot of different shows there at Far Event Center, and now I'm working with.
Now the years that you put in and everything, like to the point where you're at now. And I mean, I don't want you to discuss money because I don't like picking at people's pockets and shit like that. But like, does the money come easier now, or is it still the same?
I mean, to be honest with you, like, you're not gonna fucking make thousands of dollars. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you're given an opportunity like that to help sell tickets, I help. I'm like, hey, you want to buy a ticket? You want to go? To the show?
But what I'm saying,
but like,
when you put your own shows on,
when I put my own shows, I mean, you get a couple of bucks, but I always give out the bands and that, like the bands that play, I got to break them off some gas money. There's tabs to be paid. There's different things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can make a couple of bucks, but you're not fucking. It's not really, I'm not making a whole killing or anything or doing any of that. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple of bucks. I'm doing my thing and shit, Thing is, with the couple of bucks that I make, I go buy smoke machines. I go buy lights. I go buy speakers. I go buy new microphones. So the artists that work on my show, they look good. And they sound good when they go to my stage. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like that. Whatever I get, I'm investing it back into this, and I'm putting it out there on the stage. Now, as an artist, you got to go there and get you get a nice stage with your lights and your smoke machines and all that shit. That smoke, it costs $25 a bottle, brother. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't fucking free. They don't give that out and shit. You got to go to the store and buy that shit. Yeah. And I invest in equipment for the artists to look good and do their thing. Now, the artists, from my point of view, artists need to come and have their shirts for sale over there, their CDs, their pens, their whatever they want to sell. That's their opportunity to be a salesman and do what the fuck they need to do to make some cash. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, a lot of times, man, people don't want to pay to see original artists and shit. That's the truth. You really, the bars and the clubs, they don't want to pay to see original artists. They're like, like that shit. We want to see somebody play Metallica or somebody play, a cover band. We'll pay $400-$500 for that. But for original music, it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different thing. Like, it's not like.
And you would figure that they would rather pay for somebody with good original material instead of, because me personally,
I look at it like this. Like, your original band, have your gear set up, have your stuff to sell, go out there, bring people in, sell some tickets or bring some people in. And then, hey, yeah, we had 500 people in the club. The club made a lot of money. Well, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to get broken off the right way. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, if people are showing up there and leaving, it's kind of like, the crowd's not there. Nobody's buying tickets to your show. Like, you got to find ways to get out there and make something. You know what I'm saying? I get there at 6 p.m. and I leave at 3:30, 4 o'clock. I'm getting home at 5 o'clock and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm loading up my equipment. I'm putting everything back in my car by myself and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, artists, sometimes they come with a USB and they plug into the laptop and then they're gone. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, dude, like.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you got to find ways to fucking I want artists to sell their product, sell themselves. I'm giving you a stage. We're doing this. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, it's like, you got to sell yourself.
Now let me ask you this, because maybe it's just the comic in me or whatever. Like the two, because I'm not going to lie to you, I haven't been to a bunch of them, but I've been to 2 of your shows. You did one at the Whiskey Barrel.
Yeah.
You did another one at the Flying Walrus.
Okay.
I think the Flying Walrus was the very first time I seen it, and I saw that it was a John King production. Same kind of like you, and I was, because that's who I look. I'm the dude, when I watch a movie, the first thing I look at is the credits. Who directed the movie, who produced the movie, and that kind of gives me an idea. All right, do I want to fuck with this movie? So same thing, when I went to the show, I kept seeing it everywhere, John King, and I was like, dude, I want to know who this John King is or whatever, So I saw you at the, I didn't see you, but I saw the show at the Flying Walrus. So I was curious, you fuck with this music. In my point of view, you do a great job of shedding the spotlight on these artists, that need it. You're doing a great job with that. I'm just curious, has it ever crossed your mind to try and put on a comedy show?
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for any kind of show. Have you
ever tried it?
No, I haven't. But I mean, I would like to get in. I mean, I'm always down for anything, man. Because like I say, you got to be like, I'm open to anything, man. Like, I'm the guy that's out there selling tickets, out there promoting constantly. I'm that guy and shit. So if something like that comes about, I'm definitely interested.
Well, like I was telling you earlier before we started, man, the first time I'd run into you was mutual acquaintance of ours, friend of mine, I guess, was doing a show down on Alana and McAllen, and I think you were running the music after the show, which that's always an awkward setup because it's like, man, now we got to work out timetables and all this shit. But you were like there going, all right, man, how are y'all putting this together? You were asking like me and Mike, like,
and this was where at?
This was at the one I was telling you about at Limelight, man.
Oh, okay.
So I remember that was one of the first ones where Magic Mike.
That I met, what do you call it? Mint, that place right there. I got introduced to that place from Ram De La Cruz. He's another guy that does a lot of stuff with local artists and helps out. And he does a lot of the concerts and helps promotes and stuff. So
I just remember the questions, man, because like you were genuinely like, like you were more excited. Like we were going like, fuck, man, there's not a lot of people in this crowd. Like,
I remember there,
now.
Like, now I remember now. Now I remember. I don't remember exactly the conversation, but I knew I met you before, man. You're right.
I think I was.
Remember that.
I was hosting that and trying to coordinate with
You're
the
right.
house
You were
guy that was
outside.
doing.
Yeah.
I think I ended up having to get you to kind of intervene with me because you knew the guy that was doing the house setup for the sound, and it was like
exactly. Yeah, I remember that.
Hey man, you guys have microphones? Like, what's the deal going on?
Yeah,
here?
I remember that now. Now I do remember that. Yes.
You know, I'll be honest, man. Just kind of as you were talking about, man, you invested in equipment and shit, man. As I've brought on a couple times, man. That's
Dude,
you got microphones, you got cables, you know.
I'm gonna tell you that investing in equipment, I've invested thousands. Like if I make any little cash or whatever, I go buy smoke machines, wireless mics, microphones. I'm putting back into it. It's not like I'm fucking, oh shit, I'm having a party, I'm living large and shit. You know what I'm saying? I got a 9 to 5. I make money in the morning, bro. I'm a bartender. I got my job. I make my money. I fucking, what do you call it? I reinvest into equipment, man, so I could fucking have the shit looking nice. When you see one of my shows, and it could be I could set up right here and it's going to look real nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, what I think is, back to the thing, I want to see the artists more like me. Invest back into your shit. Like, you know, like you got to invest in recording an album. You got to invest in a producer. You got to invest in t-shirts. You got to invest in your, you know, and that right there, to be honest with you, so many artists are doing shows and the people loving the crowd there. You got a CD? You got a sticker? Do you got a fucking a t-shirt? You don't got nothing to leave your crowd. Like,
do you
your
see
people.
it getting a little bit better now?
I see some artists, they're starting to get on there and they're starting to do it. And also they're starting to make their own events and do their own thing. And I'm like here for any artist. I will run sound for your event and help you out and do everything. Artists want to do their event, let me know. We'll work something out and fucking I'll go there and I'll set everything up, have the mics, the lights, the smoke, everything. You do your thing, charge at the door, make your money, you do this and that or whatever you want to do. That's what the artist needs to do. You know what I'm saying? Hire me, I run sound for you, I bring everything I got, set you up real nice. And now you go do that, go do the promoting, bring the people in, sell the tickets or sell whatever. And then, you know what I'm saying? Have that hustle. You got to have a hustle. You know, you got to have that work ethic and shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, I can't go do a concert, sell 200 tickets, and then say, hey, man, fucking, fucking, let me fucking, like, I had a discussion with my cousin one time for some stuff, and it's like, dude, like, I'm driving all over town and shit, wasting gas, like, you know, I'm making a couple bucks off of a ticket, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of hard to fucking give you $500 for 15 minutes and shit that you're performing. Like, it's kind of, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to do that and shit. Like, fucking.
We've had this conversation multiple times.
I think at artists, I would like to see more artists, more fucking, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be a salesman. I'm going to sell my shit. I'm going to fucking do my shows.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't understand. Again, it works the same way, whether you're a comedian or an artist or whatever. People don't understand. When you start, you're the performer, you're the producer, you're the sales guy, you're the marketing guy, you're the poster guy, you're everything.
If you don't believe in you, how's anybody gonna believe?
No,
in
not
you?
but not
you gotta be your biggest fan.
Yeah,
really.
but not only that. It's just people don't know that going exactly with what you said. Like, you have to invest that time into you. Like, perfect example right now. Right now it's about to be 9:00. We're recording this. Yeah. Once we wrap this up, I'm still gonna try to see if I can go see my kid right now, and it's only gonna be for 20 minutes. I still gotta come back. I'm gonna shower, and I still gotta spend another 2 hours writing, because I've told Sean before, I've developed a habit of because for any other artist, writing is where our bread and butter comes from. If you stop writing, if you stop creating, you stop your work. You know what I'm saying? So I've every day, every single day, I've set aside 2 hours of my day to dedicate to writing. So somewhere in my day, I gotta dedicate those 2 hours. I haven't done it today, so I know that sometime before I hit the sack, I'm going to have to write for 2 hours. So I still got that going on. Now, my point is that I tell everybody, if you don't have the will and the drive to want to sacrifice that, then it's not.
You know,
man.
sometimes I wake up at 9 a.m. I go to work, get out at 5, go home, change, load up all the equipment in the car, get there at 6 o'clock to the venue, set up all the fucking speakers, set up all the stuff, go there, do sound for one stage in the back, DJ in the front, fucking show don't end, 3 a.m, bars closing and shit. I'm there fucking loading all the equipment, breaking everything down, wires and bags, fucking do that, blah, blah. Then the next, get home about 4 o'clock, go to sleep at about 5 o'clock once your energy and your fucking adrenaline goes down. Go to sleep, wake up the next day and do it again and shit. Fucking that is the kind of dedication I have to what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking for myself, with no drugs and shit makes it a lot harder. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I mean, like me. But the thing is, I enjoy music. I enjoy fucking being around it. Like me not being able to be with my band and shit is kind of like an athlete that had to retire and shit. Like you can't do it no more and shit.
Like that's exactly my point. Like I tell everybody, if you don't do this because you love it first, and you're trying to do it for like the quick buck, it's not gonna work, man. You're gonna be waiting.
You
for
just gotta do
time.
it for the love of it, and have your job in the day, and do your job, and always have a backup plan. You can't think, oh shit, I'm gonna go out and fucking get discovered, and I'm gonna be rich. Like that shit probably ain't gonna happen and shit. But a lot of people believe it will happen and shit. I believed it at one time, like, oh shit, we're gonna fucking do this, we're gonna do that, you know, and then you realize, oh shit, it's all over and shit. One day from the next, though, there's no band no more. There's no more shows. There's no more nothing. And you're like, well, what the fuck am I going to do now? And that's what I came up to the decision. I'm like, shit, I got some connects here with the promoters that are doing all the big shows. I got some equipment left over. I'll start throwing parties. Anybody want to perform and have some exposure and come out here and have some beers and let's party and have a good time? You know, hit me up. And this shit just took off, and one show to another show to another show to another show, you know, and that's just how it is and shit. And bands that have started with me, I've seen bands so much growth. They started and they were like real green on stage, like, and then now they're playing bigger shows, bigger venues. I mean, they're getting their stuff together and recording albums and doing stuff. There's so many great bands on here. I like the Spoonfed. There's Rogues and Renegades, Redemption City. You got fucking Ocean Breeze Avenue, Pacific Notion, the Riverside Boys. I mean, Venomous. I could name 60, 70, 80 artists down here that I worked with on shows. And there's so much great talent. And I want them to be successful. I'm trying to tell you, hey, you need to do this and do that. You know, this is what needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? And you see some bands, they're doing it. They're recording their albums. They're getting their shit straight. They're on Spotify. They're promoting their stuff. They're making videos. That's what I want to see out of all of this. In the end, be successful. Go do your thing, man. Fucking open up for big acts. Do big things. You know what I'm saying? Don't just think, oh, shit, I'm going to be here fucking playing in the local bar all my life and shit. Well, fucking go on the road. Go to Austin. Go to San Antonio. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm seeing it already. It's happening.
That's the other thing.
It's happening.
That's the other thing that I tell people, that, you know, people like don't notice until you actually experience it. Like, in a very short time, I've come to realize that if you want to start making like real money, because as hard as it may sound, man, like the money's on the road. Like you really have to figure out a way to get, even if you have no money, you need to figure out a way to get on the road if you want to get paid. Because from your local scene, now, I mean, I've said it a bunch of times. I'm not shitting on my hometown or anything like that. But a lot of the times, man, you're not going to get the same support from your local scene like you will on the road. You know what I'm saying? You have to. Now, keep in mind, when and we both know this, keep in mind, sometimes when you go on the road, you might lose. Yeah. You might not make the same money that you thought you were going to make just because you did it the first time. But that's the risk you got to take. You got to be willing to take that risk and go with your best foot forward and be like, I'm going to try to make this and I'm going to make this happen. But like you said, if you want to stick here and wait for somebody.
Yeah.
Either you got two choice. You got one.
As
choice.
an artist, you have to have the will to fucking strive for your dream and go get it. You know what I'm saying? You don't expect somebody to fucking. I could show you the pond and shit, but I can't make you drink the water and shit.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'll take you there. I'm
It's like-
showing
it's
you
like-
what's up. Now you got to do what you got to do to take the next step in your career. You know what I'm saying?
I tell
mean-
everybody, you can't expect like to stay here like this. A fucking talent agent.
No,
is
I'm
not
gonna say
come
right
knocking on
here,
your door.
yeah,
You know
it's
what
not
I'm
gonna happen. But right here in the valley, we have so much fucking talent. It's overflowing, bro. And one day, this is gonna be the place right here where they say, "Damn, the valley is the place for rock and roll." Just like they think of Austin as the capital of this and that. I've been to Austin. I've partied on Austin. I've seen what the Austin's got. And to be honest with you, I think there's more talent right here in the RGV and shit. From the bands that I've worked with, I mean, there's a lot of good original music down here. The original hip hop artists, Indigo the Rebel. There's a whole bunch. C Styles. There's a whole bunch of different artists down here. Keynote. All these artists, they're great. All we got to do is keep the unity, fucking support each other, and fucking invest in themselves and shit as an artist, put into it, and you're going to get everything out of it. If you put in that 100%, you're going to get back out of there. Guarantee it.
Yeah.
It's going to come back to you, and everything will be fine and shit. You got to, if you want to do music on the real and do that shit for real, you got to put into yourself and your craft. You got to sharpen your skills. You got to put into your fucking product. This is a brand. You're selling your shit. You know what I'm saying? John King Entertainment, that's what I do. You want fucking music for a quinceañera? I'll be there. You want a fucking party at your house? I'll do it. You want a hip hop show at the fucking down the street? We'll do it.
You actually, that's where I was gonna go with my next question with you. I was literally gonna ask you that. So like, if today somebody were to come and be like, "Hey man, I got this backyard party. I need you to DJ. Can you DJ?"
Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay.
I could throw a party. That's what I do. I'm a DJ. I'm the guy that's gonna play the music, bring the party vibe. And like I say, if artists want to be in there and be in the party and perform or do something, more than welcome. Hit me up. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about. You know, I'm out there. I'll do a house party. I've done Halloween parties. I've been at all kind of different places. You know what I'm saying? Playing music and shit, DJing some music and shit, fucking playing tunes that I like and shit. And you know, there's a lot of things that I've been doing, like fucking parties. I did weddings. I'm gonna do a birthday party for somebody in Edinburgh coming up the 10th. Then, I mean, I got different things lined up, DJing at different places, shows at different places. So I'm just trying to keep busy, basically. I'm just trying to be out there. You know, when you're out there doing things, then more doors will open up for you and stuff.
Just from listening to you, man, I'm assuming you're coming at all this with the same mentality. It's like,
Oh,
like you
yeah,
said,
definitely.
you got the smoke machines, you got the amps, everything is.
Yes, I'm trying
You
to have
bring
my shows. Like, I'm trying to bring
the
a
event.
little rock show or a little show where it looks professional. We could be
Now,
we could be right here, and I'll make it look like a cool little stage.
Let me ask you a question, man. Adderall, you take Adderall, man?
Nah, I don't take no
All right,
Adderall.
cool. You don't need it, brother.
Nah.
That's what I was saying.
Nah.
You don't need it.
I got a lot of energy, man, and I'm a lot older than everybody and shit.
Yeah, man.
I'm old school and shit. Fucking ready. I'm like,
yeah, man.
I'm over 40 and shit.
So the $1 million question, man, that I've asked I think everybody that's come on, what is your final main goal? Let me paint it to you like this. Once, and I don't say this in a negative way, I'm just trying to give you the bigger picture. Once John King leaves Earth, what are you trying to leave behind?
I would say I'm trying to leave behind a legacy of I was a cool person. I was a helpful person. I was a person that always had everybody's back when they needed it. I was an honest person. I wasn't no shady motherfucker. I was never not a backstabbing person. I like my name to be very respected. I don't want my name to be like, oh, that motherfucker wasn't worth shit. No, I want people. I don't like enemies. I'm about making friends and shit, you know, and that'll be my legacy is like all this shit I'm doing right here, 10, 20 years, 30, 40 years, when I'm gone, dead and gone or whatever, something's gonna be built off of what I started and shit. You know what I'm saying?
So that's
when
kinda...
I knocked on doors and did that shit and they wouldn't let hip hop play at clubs, now you go downtown and go places, everybody's throwing a hip hop show.
You ever heard that old, what's his name? Guy that wrote Old Man is Hemingway, Ernest Hemingway. Yeah. Every man dies two deaths, his actual death and the last time somebody says his name. Yeah. So I
just, you know, I really, to be honest with you, I don't want to be looked at as, oh, that motherfucker was shady or this and that. I always respect all my artists. I respect all the people I work with. I'm here to help. If you need me to help for anything, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always am going to be that type of person and shit. I'm not no person that's going to be like, oh, yeah, fuck that, man. They weren't worth shit, this and that. Like, nah, man, I'm not. I'm trying to make friends, not enemies, man. You know what I'm saying?
And like,
beautiful, man.
And like, that's beautiful. And as far as your brand, when people say John King Entertainment, how do you want it remembered?
Well, I mean, I would say how I would want it remembered is just the same thing with, you know, with held up with respect. Like, hey, man, they fucking always helped us out. He always, you know, pointed us in the right direction. What I really want to do is now that I'm working with the bigger promoters that are doing the big shows and bringing the big artists down, what I'm trying to do is now I'm in there. Now it's time to start. Let me get my homeboy over here and bring him over here with me. Let me get my boys that are a band and shit. Let me get you to open up over here. That's what I really want to do. I want to get to that point because I want to give back to these artists because they've been working with me for a long time. And I want to show them that, hey, dude, you could get to the big stage and you could do that shit. Like, and we could make the shit and you could be successful. You know what I'm saying? And there's opportunities and doors open up just like they open up for me to open up for big acts and do things like that. They could open up for anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's about talking to the right people. I want to help out these bands because I'm thinking like, damn, these motherfuckers are dope. Like, there's so many great musicians and bands down here and hip hop artists. It's like sometimes I'm seeing them perform. I'm like, shit, man, they fucking got some good music and shit, you know? There's a lot of talent. The thing is that you need to mold that talent. You need to fucking be driven and you need to put into your talent and your talent's going to give it back to you in the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have that belief in yourself, you know, like you said earlier, you heard about me here, you heard about me there. That's because I'm putting myself there and I'm putting myself over there and I'm in there and I'm over there. You know what I'm saying? I'm everywhere. I'm trying to be everywhere and anywhere. Yeah. When you're at a concert, you're seeing John King. When you at a club, you seeing John King. When you at the restaurant eating, you seeing John King. When you fucking goddamn driving down the street, you seeing John King and shit. That's the way you got to be when you're doing fucking what you love to do. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be appreciated or make something out of it, you got to put that work ethic in. You got to put that work in. I mean, when it all comes down to it, you can have all the talent in the world. But if you're sitting in your fucking room playing your guitar and nobody knows about you, well, then what's that worth? Yeah. Really ain't worth too much. You're a great person that plays in the room, plays your guitar and shit. You got to get out of the room, knock on doors, talk to people, fucking make moves and make things happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to knock on doors and see who lets me in and see how I could bring other people and bring them into the situation and get opening spots and get play and things like that. I'm working right now with 3G Entertainment, Dynamic Entertainment, and Bookum Nano. They're the ones bringing all these concerts down. So spring break, last year we did the Cardi B show with them, Little Baby. A lot of younger hip hop artists were coming down at spring break. So I did all that. I started the year at the Island. I did about some shows out there and had a lot of artists, had some shows, did all the stuff that was all the concerts going out there. So I'm just trying to be wherever I could be. If it's a EDM show, if it's a Tejano show, if it's a rock show, if it's a hip hop show, I'm going to be at all the shows. Because you know why? Because in the end, if you ain't in the mix, how's anybody going to know about you? I'm everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm at all the shows. You know why? And that's how I know everybody, hey, What's up? I bump into people all the time and shit because I'm at all the shows. I tell artists all the time, go to the concerts, talk to people. That's you're in a rock band, you're a hip hop artist. You need to be at them shows. Opportunities, man. I mean, you got to be on your shit.
Gotcha, man.
I mean, that's the way I think. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the go and shit.
It's a healthy mentality, man. Like you said, man, it's not just the support. It's like, man, if that's the scene you're in, be in the damn scene.
Be in the scene and stuff. You know, opportunities could spring up here and there. You never know and shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shit, open up for this group or do this or do that. You know, shit.
There's
shit
been
happens.
been more than a few times, man. Just you show up to a show and somebody's like, "Hey, man, so and so didn't show up. You want to do some time?"
Yeah, exactly, and that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? If you don't show up to that show, then somebody else is going to walk in that spot.
That's the other side of it. When I tell people, like, again, whether you're an artist or a comedian, that's why no matter what going back to the writing and creating thing, man. No matter what you do, if you go to a show or whatever, people offer you these guest spots. But the thing is that you got to be ready to go if they give you like some random ass guest spot. Even if it's 5-10 minutes,
use that time.
You gotta have those songs, those bars on deck, or those jokes, and you gotta be, because if you don't, they can offer you the opportunity, but because you weren't ready, you couldn't take advantage. You know what I'm saying?
See, don't believe that when I seen comedy around town that I haven't thought about doing a comedy show. I'm like, shit, because
so I'm guessing
I'm down for anything.
So
man.
I'm guessing now, like if it
we
has,
could put together something somewhere. There's a lot of.
I was gonna say, like, if it's crossed your mind more than once, what hasn't pushed you to at least try it once?
Not knowing a lot of the comedians down here. That's
but you're everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean, not to play devil's advocate.
I mean, I am everywhere.
Man's words against him.
Yeah, you're using the words against me. No, I'm everywhere for music.
Right.
Now, I'm not everywhere for comedy. Now, once I get everywhere for comedy, then I will be bumping into you. You see, now, me and him crossed paths years ago at Limelight, and I always, right now when I see him, I say, I know this guy. I know this guy, but I don't know where I know him from. You know what I'm saying? But then we found out. He told the story how I met him over there, and we was talking outside.
Like I said, it's a little hectic when you're trying to stack the music on top of the comedy and all that, but you meet people, man.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm out there doing what I usually do, and I'm thinking, hey, that might have been one of the times I thought, hey, a comedy show, that's something different and shit. You know, we could definitely do that. There's venues that are all around town. You just got to go out there and knock on the doors. Hey, let us do a comedy show. You know what I'm saying? I know venues where we could do comedy shows. You know, there's venues around town. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, we need to get the venues, but we got to get the people. Because in the end, the venues, they want the people that are going to be out there. Hey, come to my show. Come to my show. They want the people that are going to bring in people to the venue. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You could get anything to play at any venue if you bring people. They don't give a fuck if you're a singer or play the piano or whatever. If you bring people, the club will let you come and do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? That basically is.
Let's dig on it. We kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, man, digging in on the idea. Cause I mean, this is literally like the question we're constantly going over is like, one, if you got a built-in fan base, I mean, you see, what I'm doing with my shows is I get fucking 14, 15 different artists. So each artist is bringing 4, 5, 6 people. The crowd starts to accumulate. You see what I'm saying? I could add a couple of comedians in there, and then whoever you bring, and what's going to happen to your crowd? It's going to expand. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm working with a lot of artists. That's why I say it's very important for artists to stick together and support each other, because that right there is the bulk of our crowd. If you all start leaving and shit, then, you know what I'm saying? Look, you got each artist brings 5, 6 people. Each band has 4 or 5 members. Each rapper brings his 2 or 3 people. Your crowd starts expanding. Okay, now you got people. Now that's not counting the walk-ins, the people that are gonna walk off the streets. If you ever walk down the street and you look inside a club and you see that there's nobody there, what do you usually do? You just keep walking straight, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you walk by a club and you see motherfucking comedy going on, or you see fucking a show going on, you get intrigued by what's going on in there. And a lot of times, 9 out of 10, you walk in there and you check out what's going on. Now, that's your decision right there where it comes. Do I want to stick around and hang out here for the night, or do I want to go somewhere else?
This was
you know
this
what
was
I'm
where I
saying?
was going with the question, man. Like, how much of it, at least in your experience of it, man, how much of it is the presentation? Like you were talking about, like I was giggling earlier, man, because you were talking about like if somebody goes to the bathroom, I want them to see my face. I remember having that conversation with a venue owner where it was like, let me put posters in the motherfucking in front of the urinals, literally just boom in front of every fucking urinal. Let me put a fucking poster there, and they were like, you think that's worth it? And it's like, look, I'm not here every night, but that poster is going to be here every night for every customer that walks into that bathroom. And
most definitely.
So, like, how much of that is taken into consideration when you're doing the either night of or you're showing up a couple nights beforehand?
You see, the thing is with that is most of my shows, when I do shows and the bands and the artists, we already have our fan base for our people that are coming. So we got that group of people that are going to be there for sure. The bands and their people that they come with the bands and the rappers and whoever they bring in this and that. They're bringing that group. Now you got walk-ins. So really, it's already to the point where it's already rolled over where you don't have to get out there and do too much footwork and put posters everywhere and do stuff like that. It already kind of caught, I do once a month at Flying Walrus. They already know that the last Thursday of every month at Flying Walrus is John King Entertainment Production, my thing. So now doing that for month after month after month after month.
Let me ask you this, man.
Last Thursdays.
How many times? How much of that the regular crowd that you're getting on these monthly shows is people going like, oh, I know this band, I know that band, and how much of it is people going, you know what? That dude does a show there every month, and he always brings, you know what I mean? How much of it is almost a trust in the show itself?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's I would say 50-50 because it's also the artist that you bring to the show. You got to have the artist that, some artists, there's a lot of hungry artists, and there's a lot of people with that drive, like I say, that you have to have. They're out there promoting the shows. They're out there sharing the Facebook. They're on social media. They're doing that work. They're putting it in. So they're bringing their people. That's the kind of people I like to work with because those are like people like me and shit. The ones that share and the ones that believe in the event, them are the ones I like to work with. I don't want to work with like the people that I don't care about this. Like, I don't even want to play that show. Like, I want people that are interested in playing, and want to showcase their talent and want to be successful and want to make something out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen so many bands that are just like, damn, dude, you guys could be on the radio. You guys should be opening up for this band. You should be doing it, and it's going to get there. It's going to get there because all these shows and all the shows they're doing around town at different venues is building up their name and it's building up their brand. It's just like me out there at this venue and I'm at that venue and I'm over there. That's building up John King Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So as a band, Rogues and Renegades or Redemption City or Spoonfed, these bands are doing these shows everywhere. They're starting to gather more fan base. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're in Harlingen and you see Spoonfed and then you see them in Edinburgh and then you see them in San Juan and then you see them in McAllen and then you see them at the beach. More people are seeing you. More people are seeing you. You know what I'm saying? They're hearing about you. And I believe that's the way to do it. You gotta be everywhere and anywhere. You know what I'm saying? As an artist, get out there, go for it, do as many shows. Don't worry about anything. Worry about your music. Do your thing, and everything's gonna come back to you, bro. Trust me. Gotcha. That's how it works, man.
That's the game.
That's the game. I mean, when's this comedy? When's the next show for you?
We have
we
one.
Got something come up on.
We have one coming up on December 7th.
Yeah.
Out in Stokely's in Edinburgh.
For the audience, this show is long gone, but 20 days in the past. But
hey, don't. It was a great show. It was a great show.
Oh, we killed. We killed.
Y'all should come by one time to the Flying Walrus, man. Like maybe if y'all are down to do a little something and shit.
When do you do the regular shows?
That's every last Thursday of the month at the Flying Walrus.
Right on.
I mean, there's always time where we're just
now there is something, and again, I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate, but from experience, something that I've learned quick, man, is mixing music And comedy, it doesn't work out well, bro.
You don't think so?
No, I've seen it firsthand more than 2 and 3 times.
Funny enough, I notice it's a lot more entertaining for the people on the show. Like some of the best audience members are bands. If they're there to play afterwards, like they just, I mean, every once in a while you get a pack of cunts.
It's all about, but it's all about mixing it the right way.
Because I did
put you at the right time.
The last time I did one, I did shout out to Sam Daly. He put me on the Fire Festival in October. Wait, was it October? Holy shit! Yeah, it was a year ago. Well, not this October, last October. He put me on that show, but it was all live music. So he did an awesome job of putting me up right before the headliner. It was a great crowd, but it was still hard for 2 reasons. They were like way drunk already, and the other one was that a lot of the people were there for the music. So when the music stopped, and then he brought the comedian. It's like I said.
I did see that one time when Mario Salazar, he had the opportunity to open up for Cypress Hill. Hill did a show at Far Event Center, and I seen it was like music, and then it went to comedy. It was like they went from the music first and hyping up the crowd, and then it went to comedy where it's just talking. So it kind of was like a woo, like it slowed down. Like I think maybe if he would have opened up the show and like maybe emceed the show, like be that guy that comes in between acts and talks some shit for a little bit, and then I think the response. But that night I remember it was kind of like it was like hype, and then it kind of slowed down for. So
I've seen that a couple of times. Who's running the show? They want to plug a comic in like another band.
To answer your question more directly, I'm not opposed to doing it. Like I'll do it again. I'm kind of like you, man. I'm down to giving it the shot. If it didn't work the first time, let's go back to the drawing board. Figure out why it didn't. I'm down to try it again. I'm just telling you, I've literally had more than 5 experiences like that.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's like
I've seen it sometimes too, but I think it can work if you do it in the right time zones. You got to have you at the right time. You can't like put on all this hype music, do all this, and then slow it down to somebody to having a conversation with the crowd. Because it goes from there. You got to maybe start off with the comedian to warm things up, and then put bands or whatever later. I would probably go that route.
Funny enough, we were talking about late night shows before we started recording this, and if you go back and watch I think Conan O'Brien did it best because he had Max Weinberg and his whole band there, and like there was never a quiet moment. Like they were either hitting, if somebody was on stage doing a performance, they were, doing the musical, drum roll or something like that. There was always
they mixed it up in
the
with
whole
the
thing was one thing.
But that's something that they choreograph and everything and every move.
Yeah.
Well,
you also
that's like a lot of.
You have to have some professionals.
Yeah, that's some
it.
professionalism right there.
Yeah, I think there might even be something more to the idea of having the band as the supporting act. You know what I mean? Bring a couple comics on. Hey, we're going to do a quick little 3 minutes. Boom, here's the band. They're going to play a song. Maybe you have them on stage the whole time. It's hey man, there's room to play around with that. But
no, there's things in between bands when they're setting up or where they have a setup and come in and say, have a little. That's when you can keep that crowd and you could give them a little bit and then come, like be a host, kind of like come in, do a little set.
Well, see, that's what I did
on stage while somebody's setting up their guitar and they're like,
no, but I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. No, I wouldn't do that. I'd make them set up their equipment. Have some artists go up there, do something for a couple minutes, and then let them go into their.
See,
their
that's what I'm saying. At that festival, that's exactly what I did. He had me go on like twice, like in between.
Yeah.
And then it it worked out. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't completely lose the crowd. It's not as engaging as in if you go back now. And ask anybody, like if you can find anybody from that crowd that wasn't Sam Daly, and ask them, "Hey, you remember Freddy?" And then go tell everyone who the fuck was that. You know
I don't know why I flashed this, but there's a documentary on the Insane Clown Posse, and they had a guy that would go around with them. He was basically their tour comic or whatever, and they had brought another comic to do the show, and he's driving the comic around on a golf cart while they're doing that, gathering the juggalos, where he's like, we're all like family here, and then somebody just out of nowhere hit him in the head with a fucking full beer can, and it's like, yeah, man, some people don't appreciate the comedy in between their music, man.
So I have a question for you guys. What comics did you grow up liking to hear? Who inspired you guys to be comics?
The one that inspired me to do it, I was 8 years old when I first saw Richard Pryor on HBO. Live on the Sunset Strip.
Yeah, I remember with the red silky shirt.
The red, hell yeah.
Talk about his dog.
By the end of the special, he had the sweat and fucking coming out the armpits.
Now, I've always had a love for comedy. Also, throughout my life, I grew up on Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, all these great,
my top
comedians.
My top two that I can
there's
never
Red Fox,
figure.
There's Dolomite. There's
that I could never figure out who to put 1 and 2, and it's always tied for me. There is Richard Pryor and Red Fox.
Red Fox.
Those are also I always put them like 1 and 1. I can't.
Elizabeth, this is the big one. Always having a heart attack. Yeah, I mean, man. I grew up on all that. I mean, comedy is a part of life. Music is a part of life. I mean, you need to laugh. You need to, cry. That's just part of life. You know what I'm saying? It's like, to me, like, music's always been there as that safety net for me and always helped me out throughout my life. When I'm down in the dumps or whatever, you put on that old song or something that makes you feel a little bit better,
Yeah.
So, I mean, like me, I'm going to actually start performing again with a friend of mine, an old member of my old band. Me and him got a project we're working on. We're recording some new stuff also. So we'll be coming back out of retirement after a couple of years. Cause I mean, it's been a couple of years since we've been out there. I mean, we kind of all separated out the group and everybody went their own way. And like, that's why the music, for us making music, and that kind of came to an end. So that's when I had equipment, I had some things, and I started saying, well, I'm going to start just throwing parties around and fucking start throwing little shows and shit. And then one thing led to another thing. And, hey, DJ over here at my party. Hey, I got a smoke shop. I'm fucking need you to DJ over here. I got a party over here. And one thing led to another, And then I started in working with Dynamic Entertainment and Bookham Nano and the bigger promotion companies down here that are bringing all the shows. And I start helping them, sharing the flyer, fucking selling the ticket, fucking whatever I could do to help, I'm down and shit. Start working out a Whiskey Barrel, start getting their music and the bands to play there, start bringing people in, start bringing, that's what I'm in, the business of bringing people to places like businesses that need people in their business, A business cannot survive if you don't have customers.
Right.
And that's what I'm in the business of doing, bringing people to your place, new people that probably wouldn't go there if I didn't bring them and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Giving them an excuse to go fucking.
Yeah, at Whiskey Barrel, I brought so many different people and different bands, and bands call me up. I got bands called from San Antonio. Hey, can we do a show over there? Fucking got bands from Harlingen, Brownsville, Houston. Artists from Houston come down here. Hey, let me jump on the show. Like, I get a lot of messages from a lot of artists. It's like, when you said you sent me a message a while back, it's like, shit, it got lost in all the messages and shit. Like, sometimes I'm like, shit, who was I talking to earlier and shit? I have to look back and shit because there's so many artists.
Yeah, man.
And I started also, I like to throw a shout out to my hip hop page. It's called RGB's Baddest. It's a group page. I started that. I had a competition where we gave away $500 for the best hip hop artists in the Valley.
Right on.
So we had 24 artists from here to Brownsville to Harlingen to everywhere in the Valley. 24 acts. I put it in a bracket, like a tournament bracket. I made the shit. I drew it up and everything. I put everybody's name and fucking matched them up. And I had each artist. I had a panel of judges. I had 3 judges, and I had the crowd vote was the extra points. So I made it like a contest. I had 24 acts. And we had everybody in there. Evolve, C Styles, TAO, fucking everybody that raps in the Valley. Most of them were in that competition and shit. Big Greenie, I don't think he wasn't in it. But a lot of other artists down here that rap and stuff, we made that. So when I made that show, I made a group page, and overnight it got like over 2,000 members, like quick and shit. So it's a page where you go there and you can see a lot of hip hop artists, a lot of local artists showcasing their music, putting their links, how to link up with them, how to if they need recording or video or whatever's needed. It's a place to kind of be a salesman and sell yourself and get shows and talk to other people. You know what I'm saying? There's like over 2,000 members. So it's a pretty good group.
Right on.
RGV is baddest. Check it out. Go on there. Add yourself as a member. There's a lot of great music. You'll see a lot of great hip-hop artists from down here in the Valley, from here to Brownsville, Harlingen. And a lot of artists that are from out of town also. They started posting on there too. I'm like, dude, you're not even from the Valley and shit. Mm-hmm. You're like from San Antonio and Austin and Houston. But there's like a whole bunch of people just start going to the site. So going to the group page. So it's something I like to, I'm happy about because it's really showcasing the talent we have here for hip hop artists. And it's putting it out there. They're able to share their stuff, and a lot of people are checking it out. So,
well, like you guys were talking about, man, it's about the promotion and being able to connect with people and see what you can actually do.
Yeah, it's a good page, man. For I think everybody should try to put some pages together like that. Hey, we need to make the comedy page.
It exists.
Well, yeah, it's there.
It's there.
It's RGB comedy, exactly. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay, then.
And speaking about the competition you said for the artist, we also hold one in comedy, which is called RGB's Funniest in.
That'll actually be this Wednesday.
Funniest in the RGB, and they're actually competing this Wednesday for the funniest in 2019.
And where would the show take place?
El Rey.
El Rey, downtown.
Okay.
Yeah. They're holding this one for 2019. I actually was lucky enough to win last year's competition. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, man. So
it's
something that they hold yearly. So.
And that's something that you got to build on and keep on building it up and get it out.
And actually, that same day, I tell everybody down here because I told them, I was like, look, man, I know it's far and everything, but I need all the support I can get. That same day, because he's going to be competing again in this competition this year here at El Rey. That same night, I'm going to be competing for funniest in Texas, but I'll be in San Antonio.
And do you feel, another question for you as a comedian, do you feel the love from other comedians down here? Where are you guys working together?
Yeah. Are you
getting opportunities to open up for these artists that are coming up? Because I see there's some comedians coming up here that they're doing good things. Yeah, they're out there.
I'll speak on this part because I know like people listening or whatever, they may feel a certain different way or whatever, have their own opinion. I can fortunately say that from the very few people, from the people that I've worked with personally, the opportunities that I've gotten to open for different people, I'm grateful because I have gotten a lot of opportunity to open for different people, to work with different people. From all the people that I work with, I'm not going to name drop or anything, but there's only one person, and I've worked with plenty by this point down here. There's only one person that I would never work with again. But I've worked with a lot of people, a lot of different comics. Everybody that I worked with, I'll be cool to work with again. There's only been one person that I wouldn't. And I think, and even at that, man, because I'm kind of like you, I'm not the hating type of person. It's just, it's not in my body. You know what I'm saying? Get your money. Even if we disagree, get your money. I hope the best for you and everything. That's what I was going to say. Even with that one person that I did not like working with, it's just because he was an asshole. At least he came off as an asshole to me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So even with him, even if they told me, even if Mario told me tomorrow, he was like, hey man, I'm going to put you on the car with this dude again. I would not turn down the show for the people. The way I see it is, we work at a 9 to 5, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you got co-workers that you don't give a shit about. but it's not gonna stop you from fucking working. It's like, hey, dude, you do your job. You do your job. Don't get in the way of doing mine, and we're good. So even if I was to be put on the same card with that dude, like I'll do it. I'll go up, show up, do my time. That'll be that. And you know, we good.
Yeah, sometimes it's just about doing each and every show, whatever you could do it. I mean, that's what the advice I'd give as any artist. You know, just do all the shows, like, you know, do whatever you can do, and that's gonna just like get it rolling.
Yeah. But what shows should I do? All of them.
All of them. Every opportunity that comes my way, I'll do them.
And to be honest with you, man, like I even feel a little weird saying that, because even see me within myself. I feel that I should say that in a way, because I haven't even had the opportunity to talk to that person and be like, hey man, I felt this way because of this and this and this. Bro, honestly, it was maybe just a misunderstanding. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes
maybe it was just a misunderstanding. Maybe it's something that could be talked out. And maybe I'm talking shit here for no reason. You know what I mean? I haven't had that opportunity, but I'm just telling you as far as...
No, but I mean, don't get me wrong, though. There is a lot of competition also within artists. As artists, I mean, there's always going to be that,
dude,
like that winner's like, I want to be the best is the best. And,
I'm just trying to remember the exact book I was listening to somebody fucking read a clip of the other day, and it was basically talking about, like, if say you go hunting with a bunch of motherfuckers, like, look, you love those guys. If one of them,
everybody wants to kill the biggest deer and shit.
yeah. Don't be wrong. If somebody else kills the deer, you'll help them carry it out. You fucking do whatever you can. But
you're like, that could have been my shot.
It's a friendly competition, even with music. When we were doing music, it was always like, shit, we want to be the best. Like, and a lot of people like, oh shit, fuck them guys. They're showing pictures of their band all the time, or they're fucking promoting yourself too much. Like, it's like, dude, I'm just trying to fucking promote what we do and shit.
Like to synthesize.
But some people could take that as they think they're the shit, you know, and it's like not even like that. It's just about promoting, man.
I generally think if anybody's doing anything, they can walk away with this and make it useful. If you have a problem with someone, be better than them. Like, that's the only productive thing you can do is be better than them. Getting in their face, talking shit. You know, I don't want to work with that. Just shut the fuck up. Be better. That's all it comes down to. Gentlemen, we are at the second hour right now. So we want to let you promote whatever you want to promote, whatever you got.
This is a part of the show where you can promote anything, your social medias, anything you got coming up.
This will be coming out on the 27th. So if you got any shows coming up after that date, by all means, let us know.
All right. Well, we definitely, it won't be out till the 27th. So I do have the 10th. I'll be on Titan Radio. I'm just going to say everything I got going this month anyways. So throw a shout out to Titan.
You can always
Radio.
go back in the archives and dig it up.
It's still.
That's him right there.
Yeah. Whoa. Titan Radio. I'll be on there. I think guest host or something like that. The 10th of December. And then the 14th, I'll be at a house party somewhere doing some 16-year-old's birthday party and throwing some music for them. And then the 12th of December, I'll be at Bert Ogden Arena. I'll be doing the legendary rock band Styx concert, helping out with that one. So that's brought to you by Dynamic Entertainment, 3G Entertainment, Bookham Nano, and Powerhouse Entertainment. All them guys are like getting together as a team. They're the ones bringing down a lot of the bigger events. So I'm just helping out with that, anything I could do. That'll be the 12th, Styx, legendary band. So I'm going to be there just for the show. Gotcha, I mean, man. I'm a fan of the music. Then we got the 21st. I'll be at Yerba de Cultura. Mm-hmm. I'll be doing another show out there where we'll have Venomous, Pacific Notion, Spoonfed. We'll be having Chemical Thought, I believe. My sister is also an artist. She plays Lisette Marie. She'll be playing some songs there also. In the front, I'll be having a hip-hop show with Indigo, The Rebel, Keynote. Will be performing a lot of other local hip-hop artists that is going to be on that one. That'll be the 21st of December at Yerba de Cultura. 26th, I'll be at the Flying Walrus. We're going to have a bomb music festival showcase, Christmas show. We'll have the Black Cats. There's going to be a lot of different... To check out the schedule, you could just go to John King Entertainment. They'll show all the schedules for that. So the 26th will be at the Walrus. The 27th, I'll be at Hop Shop in Harlingen.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Doing another showcase with another great band from San Antonio, Texas. They're coming down called 99 Rising.
Right on.
Great band. If you haven't heard them, look into them, 99 Rising. And they'll be with Rogues and Renegades, and I'll have Pacific Notion, and I'll have my sister also performing at that one. And then the monthly shows I'll be having every last Thursday of the month. I'll be having shows at the Flying Walrus. I'll be having some more shows at different locations. Simon Says, shout out to all the bars, Flying Walrus. I'd like to thank everybody for letting us do what we do. Having these shows, showcasing these local talent. And then
and if anybody want to reach out to you and get on a show, if they're an artist, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, just hit me up under John King Entertainment, and you'll just look at John King altogether Entertainment, and you'll find me on Facebook, Twitter, everywhere, basically.
Right.
Like I said, and plenty of shows coming up. We got Randy Rogers will be coming in next month. He'll be at Far Event Center in January. No, he'll be January. I'm not too sure on the date, but the Randy Rogers Band, a country show.
And they can
Will
find
be
that
coming
at John
down.
King Entertainment.
Yeah, and it's also with the other promoters that I'm working with, so they'll be able, through me, they'll be able to see all the other things that I'm working on. And, you know, if you need music for a party, you need a sound man to come help out with one of your shows that you want to put together, call me up.
Fucking A,
I
man.
mean, we can make it happen and stuff. You want to make a comedy show?
But I'll hit you up. We'll talk about it off cameras. I don't want to put too much out there because we already got a lot of the show coordinated and down.
Yeah.
But I was gonna pitch something to you that you might be able to help us out with. If you want to do it, cool. If you can't, it's cool too.
Have you ever
Yeah, it's all
worked an
about-
orgy before?
No, I haven't. I don't think my girl would like that shit. She'll beat me up and shit.
We'll put you behind the plexiglass. It's
Let me
cool.
throw a shout out to my girl, Sonia's Janitorial. She's got a company also. We'll clean your house too. Shit.
Nice.
We do it all. We got the cleaning business. We got the music business. We do
Nice,
it all.
Fucking A,
nice.
man.
Sonia's Janitorial. Check it out.
Is it inexpensive?
It's inexpensive.
All right, cool.
My exactly with me. I know
Hey,
artists.
you motherfuckers
when
got
arti-
pest control?
We could get it done. We'll get it all done. You need
Alright.
you need water blasting to your sidewalks. We'll do it. We'll clean the fucking house. We'll fucking bring music to your life. We'll do it all, man. I'm in the business of bringing business and bringing people together and fucking, working, man. We work and shit. Me, like I said, I'm the first one at the place and I'm the last one to leave. And that's how I run John King Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? I'm a one-man show and shit. I'm all by myself and shit.
Gotcha.
Just to repeat it one more time, on across the board on social media, Twitter, Instagram, the whole thing.
John King Entertainment. And like I said, any artists want to put their own event together, hey, let me know. I'll help you out. I got the sound. We got the microphones. We got the smoke. And we got all that stuff to make you all look legit. And
Damn,
I'm here to help.
I wish I would have
help.
reached out to you before December. Shit.
I'm always down to help. Like, you know what I'm
Thank
saying?
you.
Like,
Now I
fucking,
know.
I gotta. That's what it's all about, man. Getting out there and making things happen and shit. Working together and being successful. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Building
Okay.
dreams.
Building dreams and shit. Like,
Gotcha.
also we got spring break coming up next year, so we're already working on spring break events. You'll have a lot of them artists coming down. Little Nas X, I think, the old country song. What was that song?
Right.
Old Town.
Old Town Country Road or something like
yeah,
that.
my little son's always singing that song and stuff. I'm like, look it, we're gonna be doing the show, son. So we'll be out there at the beach this spring break. The oldest spring breaker in the valley, me. I'm that old guy with the fucking that little pouch right here on the side with all the fucking
the fanny pack,
the
and shit.
fanny
Yeah.
pack and shit with the tickets in there.
Yeah.
Man.
Gotcha.
Don't let no man sleep on the fanny pack. It is useful.
Shit, working, keep it going.
Freddie, let him know where you're at.
All right, man. You can find me everywhere. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter across the board at Freddy G.
You can find me at hatfieldstandup@gmail.com as well as Hatfield Stand Up on Facebook and Twitter. If you'd like to listen to any of the audio versions of these podcasts, you can go to shoutengine.com/bouncing brains on Google Music Play app as well as Stitcher And you can find the video version on YouTube. Just search for Bouncing Brains. If you enjoy the episodes, please subscribe. We're trying to get that custom URL. Fuck hexadecimal codes. You can also listen to new episodes premiering every Friday. But you can listen Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. on rgvtitanradio.com. New episodes every Friday. John, it was great
I'd
to
just
have
like
you,
to
man.
throw one more shout out. I'd like to thank y'all for having me here. Like, I appreciate
anytime,
you.
man.
Enjoyed the
Your
fuck out of it.
time and shit. I talked your ears off today
Yeah,
and told
no,
you so
it's
many
cool,
crazy
man.
stories.
It's cool.
But
was
I
great.
like to throw shouts out to all the bands and all the artists that I work with and support John King Entertainment. And I support them the same way. And I want them to be successful and do things with their music and be out there. So I'm going to be here to help out as much as I can. And shout out to all the bands. They know who they are. I deal with them on a regular basis. And on to the next shows. And thank you again for having me on the show. It was something I've never done this before. So
Oh,
Thank you
shit.
for
you know what I'm
coming.
saying?
man.
I was nervous at first. I'm like, shit.
Could not tell, sir.
I kind of just, let the talking happen. We're going to edit half the stuff out, though, man. Edit all the bad stuff I might.
Is that whole 10-minute segment where Freddie just talks shit on all the local comics?
Oh, shit.
Folks, thanks for
Edit
coming.
it out. All right. Thank you.
Until next time, keep it tight.
Thank you.